Was it all a dream? That's the question Dodgers fans kept asking themselves after what went down on Friday night. Because what Shohei Ohtani did in Game 4 of the NLCS wasn't just legendary. It was something out of a baseball fantasy. It was the kind of performance that you talk about for decades, the kind of night that ends up in highlight reels, documentaries, and maybe even history books. The Dodgers didn't just win. They swept. And now they wait. They've punched their ticket to the World Series for the second straight year, and they'll get a few days to rest, scout, and prepare while the American League continues its all-out war to see who survives. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to stop and appreciate what we witnessed. Because Shohei Ohtani didn't just have a good game. He didn't just come through in a clutch moment. He delivered the single greatest individual performance in the history of baseball. Postseason, regular season, World Baseball Classic, Mexican League, you name it. No one has ever done what he just did. 3 home runs, 10 strikeouts on the mound, no runs allowed, in a pennant-clinching game, at Dodger Stadium, and he put one over the roof. That's not just dominance. That's baseball at its highest possible level, executed by one man on the grandest stage imaginable. It's almost impossible to quantify how ridiculous that is. People throw around words like Ruthian to describe greatness, but Ruth never did this. Not in the postseason, not in the modern era, not with the pressure of a World Series berth on the line. Ohtani hit moonshots, shut down one of the hottest lineups in the league, and carried the Dodgers across the finish line like it was just another day at the office. But it wasn't. It was a moment. One of those moments. The kind that baseball fans live for. The kind you tell your kids about someday. The kind where everyone in the stadium stops, holds their breath, and realizes they're witnessing something they may never see again, unless he does it again. And honestly, with him, it's not out of the question. What made it even more powerful was the timing. The Dodgers were already playing great baseball. They rolled through the wild card, took care of business in the division series, and then steamrolled the NLCS. This team is hot. They're healthy. They're in rhythm. And yet, even with everything going right, Shohei still managed to steal the spotlight in the biggest way possible. That's how special this guy is. He doesn't just show up. He takes over. And now, the Dodgers wait. They get a full week to reset, recover, and prepare for whoever survives a dogfight between the Mariners and Blue Jays. That series is tied at 3, with both teams crawling to the finish line after grueling series in the LDS. Seattle had to survive a marathon 15-inning showdown with Detroit. Toronto had to come back from a 0-2 hole. Neither of them is going to arrive at the World Series fresh. And while the Dodgers have played a lot of baseball this October, they've made quick work of their opponents and have earned this rest. But that opens up the big debate, rest versus rust. On one hand, the Dodgers are going to be more rested, their rotation is lined up, and their bullpen is recharged. But baseball is a rhythm game. It's about habits, repetition, timing. Taking 5 or 6 days off can sometimes throw a wrench in all of that, especially when a team is playing its best ball of the season. That's going to be one of Dave Roberts' biggest challenges this week, making sure the team stays locked in mentally and physically. Batting practice, simulated games, staying sharp on the fundamentals, it's all on the table. And if anyone knows how to manage this moment, it's the core of this Dodgers team. They've been here before. Whether it's the Blue Jays or the Mariners, the Dodgers are going to be facing a team that's been through the grinder. Seattle has played 2 full 5-game series and is still hanging on by a thread. Their pitching staff is worn out. Toronto's had to travel across the continent and is just trying to hold it together long enough to punch their ticket. Whoever wins that series will have to immediately turn around and face a Dodgers team that's rested, motivated, and loaded with talent. And speaking of talent, Shohei isn't the only one making headlines. Kike Hernandez is closing in on a record that says just as much about his legacy as any stat line. When he takes the field in Game 1 of the World Series, it'll mark his 86th postseason game as a Dodger, tying him with Justin Turner for the most in franchise history. Let that sink in. In a team that includes Sandy Koufax, Fernando Valenzuela, Kirk Gibson, Orel Hershiser, and so many October legends, Kike is at the top of the list when it comes to showing up in the postseason. And not just showing up, delivering. He's had huge moments. That 3-homer game at Wrigley? Unforgettable. But more than that, he's been consistent, reliable, clutch. He's the kind of player you just know is going to do something in October, even if you're not sure what position he'll be playing that day. Kike has become part of the postseason identity of this team. And it's not just about the stats. It's about the personality, the energy, the emotion. Watch him in the dugout. Watch how his teammates rally around him. Watch how much it means to him to wear Dodger blue. In a league filled with superstars and mega deals, Kike has carved out a legacy through heart, hustle, and timing. He's beloved, not just because of what he's done, but because of who he is and what he represents. He's the guy who took selfies with fans 10 years ago, who switches between English and Spanish in press conferences like it's nothing, who signed a printed photo for a fan outside a hotel in Houston. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. That matters. That sticks with people. That builds a bond between player and fan that goes deeper than box scores. And if that's not enough, just listen to him talk about what it means to tie Justin Turner's record. You can hear the emotion in his voice. This isn't just a job for him. It's a dream. One that he never thought possible growing up in Puerto Rico, swimming against the current, fighting for a shot. And now here he is, on the verge of history, playing in another World Series, making memories, making noise, and making sure everyone remembers his name. What makes this Dodgers run feel different isn't just the star power or the win streak. It's the sense that every single player is locked in, every role is defined, and no one is shying away from the moment. That's the magic of October. That's what separates good teams from legendary ones. You see it in the way Max Muncy steps up when the heart of the lineup cools off. You see it when the bullpen delivers lights-out innings no matter who takes the mound. You see when a guy like Chris Taylor comes off the bench and delivers a key at-bat that flips the momentum. This is a team that doesn't need one hero, but has one, and maybe the best one baseball has ever seen, in Shohei Ohtani. It's easy to get caught up in the magnitude of what Shohei just did, and honestly, why wouldn't you? He gave the city a performance that will echo through Dodger Stadium forever. The crowd was electric, but there were moments of total silence, not from boredom, but from awe. It felt like the stadium was holding its breath every time he stepped into the box or took the mound. When he launched that third homer, people weren't just cheering, they were stunned. Grown men and women were turning to each other with eyes wide open, trying to process what they just witnessed. This wasn't just a guy on a hot streak. This was generational. This was history. We've seen flashes of postseason greatness before. Think about Fernando Valenzuela's rookie year. Think about Orel Hershiser's Bulldog run in 1988. Think about Gibson's miracle homer. Now put this next to those moments. Ohtani didn't just show up. He dominated every single aspect of the game. He was the story, the headline, the moment. And when Mookie Betts, another future Hall of Famer, says watching Shohei feels like watching Michael Jordan, it's not hyperbole. It's real. Shohei is redefining what's possible on a baseball field. And every time you think he's reached his ceiling, he shatters it. But let's not forget, that kind of performance doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's built on months of work, preparation, frustration, adjustments. Shohei had a cold stretch. There were games when he didn't look like himself. But you could see the storm building. The swings were getting cleaner. The command on the mound was sharper. You knew something big was coming, and when it finally hit, it hit like an earthquake. 3 homers, 10 strikeouts, a shutout, in a game that sends your team to the World Series. That's not just peaking at the right time. That's taking over the postseason like it's your personal playground. And now, the rest of the league is on notice. Whether it's Toronto or Seattle, they know exactly what's waiting for them. You can already imagine the meetings. How we pitch to Ohtani? Do we even try? Do we walk him every time and hope the guys behind him don't hurt us? But that's the beauty of this Dodgers lineup. You can't pitch around everyone. If you dodge Ohtani, here comes Freeman. If you get through Mookie, here comes Muncy or Will Smith. You can't rest. You can't relax. The lineup is relentless, and they've been crushing every mistake they see. The advantage for the Dodgers isn't just talent. It's the momentum, the unity, and the experience. This team knows what October is about. They've been burned before, they've celebrated before, and they've grown through every one of those moments. The young guys on the roster have been mentored by champions. The veterans have seen what it takes to go the distance. And now, they're playing like a machine, one that isn't just aiming to win, but to dominate. Still, even with all that momentum, there's a sense of calm. The Dodgers aren't panicking. They're not overthinking. They're preparing. They're staying ready. And that's why this break between series doesn't feel like a risk. It feels like an opportunity. An opportunity to heal, to plan, and to let the rest of the league catch their breath while LA sharpens the sword. That's what makes this stretch run so scary for opponents. The Dodgers are already at full speed, and now they've got time to recharge. And if there's one player who embodies that balance between intensity and composure, it's Kike Hernandez. The man is wired for this time of year. 9 seasons in Dodger blue, and every single October, he becomes a different beast. There's a reason fans never doubt him. There's a reason he gets penciled into the lineup, no matter what position needs covering. He's not just dependable. He's clutch. He's the heartbeat of the dugout. And even if he's not the biggest name, his impact is massive. When Kike steps onto the field for Game 1 of the World Series, tying Justin Turner's record, it won't just be a milestone. It'll be a moment of recognition for everything he's poured into this team. He's been part of the pain and the triumph. He's bled Dodger blue through winning streaks and postseason heartbreaks. He's been the guy making the jokes, keeping the clubhouse loose, and then turning around and delivering the game-winning hit when it matters most. And his story is one that resonates. A kid from Puerto Rico who never had anything handed to him. A player who had to fight for every opportunity, adapt, prove himself over and over again. And now, here he is, tied with one of the most beloved Dodgers of the last decade, with a chance to stand alone atop the franchise record books. Not because he was the flashiest or the most hyped, but because he never gave up, because he always showed up. Kike is one of those players that fans connect with on a personal level. You see him laughing during batting practice, goofing around in post-game celebrations, but also getting emotional when talking about what it means to wear the uniform. And it's genuine. That emotion isn't rehearsed. It's real. It's raw. You could hear it in his voice when he spoke about tying Turner. He was proud, but he was humble. He knew the weight of the moment, but he also knew there's more to do. That's the kind of mindset that wins championships. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. The Los Angeles Dodgers reportedly made waves in the baseball world this week with the announcement that FRAMBER VALDEZ is joining their rotation, a move that's already sending shockwaves through the league. Sources close to the organization suggest that while the deal is technically official, insiders are buzzing about what this could mean for the Dodgers' pitching strategy and the balance of power in the National League. VALDEZ, known for his devastating sinker and ability to induce ground balls at a staggering rate, could be the missing piece for a rotation that has flirted with inconsistency at key moments this season. While the Dodgers have historically preferred to rely on homegrown talent, the acquisition of VALDEZ signals a shift toward immediate results. Rumors circulating among MLB circles hint that LA executives are willing to gamble on the seasoned pitcher's ability to perform under pressure, especially in high-stakes postseason matchups. Team sources suggest that VALDEZ's arrival could push some established starters to adapt their routines, sparking an intriguing internal competition for the coveted spots in the rotation. Analysts are already speculating how manager Dave Roberts will juggle innings, with whispers suggesting that VALDEZ might slot in as the rotation's anchor, potentially redefining the pitching hierarchy. But the excitement doesn't stop on the field. Fans have taken to social media, sparking debates about VALDEZ's potential impact on the Dodgers' playoff aspirations. Could he be the ace that finally puts LA over the top in a year that's already been filled with ups and downs? Or is this a bold, high-risk move that may backfire under the intense spotlight of Chavez Ravine? League insiders hint that rival teams are closely monitoring the situation, wary of what VALDEZ could mean for upcoming matchups. There's even speculation that this acquisition might trigger a ripple effect in trade talks, as other franchises look to shore up their rotations in response. While official statements remain cautiously optimistic, the buzz around town is unmistakable. Framber Valdez is here, and he's expected to make an immediate impact. Dodgers fans, for now, can only imagine the possibilities as rumors turn into reality and the excitement begins to build around this potentially game-changing move. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.